Everybody? Oh, I'm live on both. Yay. Okay, so I have one camera here, so I can look at you all here. I'm going to try to read the things here, so I might glance that way a little bit, okay? Just so everyone's on top of where I'm at. Okay. Little adjustments. So for those of you who are interested, the shirt says, select your ship. And it has the Falcon and the Serenity and the Enterprise and the Planet Express and the TARDIS and the Battlestar. Okay, that's what I got. I think it needs more ships, but that's okay. I don't have a Borg cube on here, but that's okay. I accept this. It's a great shirt. I like my shirt. Okay. Tonight we're talking about the full moon. The full moon is tomorrow, right? Today's the 8th. Yep, tomorrow. The moon is tomorrow. Actually, it's at 1:45 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. But it'll be full when it rises in the night sky tomorrow night. So we are going to discuss the full moon ritual. I'm not going to do a full ritual. I'm not calling corners. I'm not enacting the full ritual, but I have it laid out. Hi, Jason. Like I said, we were discussing the full moon ritual. I have the altar laid out here. I'm going to turn this slightly and ignore the thing you see on TV. Okay, there we go. Okay. And this is going to be set here for a lot of the discussion. And I'm going to try to keep reading your comments. Basically, I'm going to discuss this. Tim, can you hand me my wand?
No.
It'll make it easier for me to point at everything. I mean, it shouldn't be a pointer, but it'll be a pointer. So please get used to that. Okay. I love my wand. This is the wand that my brother gave me for my wedding. It was used in the wedding. It's super pretty. I love it a lot. It's got crystals. Okay.
Which one?
Which brother or which wand?
Which wedding?
Oh, Tim and I.
Okay.
My latest one. Okay. So, hi, Chris. How you doing? So this full moon is called the worm moon. Hi, Madison. I'm so glad to see you. And this is my basic altar setup. So this is a very rudimentary altar setup. If I'm doing solo practice, this is kind of what my altar looks like. Okay. So I have my lighter here that I confiscated from a certain young man. And I'm just going to kind of go, before we discuss about the full moon itself. I love you too, Madison. Hi, Chris. Before we talk about the full moon itself, which I have a full discussion on, we're going to talk about my altar. Okay. We've kind of gone over in the past, like we've done a couple rituals on the stream. We've talked a lot about, please ignore anything happening in the background. They're trying really hard not to be seen by us, but still do what they need to be doing. He says hi, I swear. Better. Okay. So we're going to talk about just what you see here. I'm trying to get my laptop close enough and at the right angle to see the entire altar, but still. Okay, so my laptop sees differently than I do. It goes backwards, so I'm like confused. And then this, we're just going to go to the other side. There. Tilt up just a hair. Ta-da! And YouTube, of course, has the perfect picture. Facebook. There. Yay! Okay. So we're going to talk about my altar setup and how things happen. Okay. Let me see. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Scroll down, please. Worm. Why not Pisces? It's Pisces time. It's my birthday. You're correct. It is Pisces. I will get into that, though. It does have to do with the time of year, though. You're right, Jason. So we're going to talk about my altar setup. My altar setup here has paper plates on it. That is so that the wax does not melt into my tablecloths, because that happened last time, and that was a bitch to get off. Hi, Tim. Okay. So I start in the east, and this is air. Okay, so that is a tan tablet, candle. It looks for air. I also have a stick. I have a cone incense there. I don't know if you can see the cone incense. Thank you. So that starts in the east, and then this would be south, which is fire, and that's my lighter, fire. See how that works? I do not use the same lighter for fire that I'm using to light my candles with, because they're two different representations. Thank you, Chris. This is west. It is water. I have sea salt. This specifically, if you see one of these in my house, yes, it is a clearly Canadian bottle. It is just sea salt. That's all that's in here. So please don't put them in your food. I mean, unless you want sea salt in your food. That's a thing. This is south. That's north. I'm sorry, that's earth. And these are rocks. That's how earth, okay? So basically, I have the colors represented and I have the elements represented. Is it color that matters or name type? So I use these for specifically for these classes and these this setup. So I tried very hard to match the color to get the color to at least somewhat of the element. Okay. That's why I have the tan and the orange and the purple for waterish and the green for earth. Here in the center, I have the light purple for the goddess, the dark purple for the god. I also in the center have a cake and some water. Okay. Now the cake and the water are actually part of the ritual called cakes and ales. Type. Oh, the type of rock matter. No, the type of rock does not matter. These are literally river rocks that I picked up last time I went to the river. They're just casual stone rock. I have a whole heaping ton of them. People keep giving me rocks. They go to different places. They bring me back rocks. It's really cool. So if you go to different places, bring me rocks. I will keep them and I will use them in videos and do rituals with them. So for our ritual tonight, and then my wand goes back on the table. For our ritual tonight, the first step, of course, would be to call corners. Okay? Corners are important. It would also be helpful if my page did not close. So I was going to use this ritual that I found at gypsythread.org, which was really good. And I'm using most of it. I like the corners that they say, welcome great spirits of, we feel your, and then it's very much of the acknowledgement for the element in the time of year, which is very nice. But it only calls upon the goddess. And I do not believe that my deity is a single parent. So I like to represent both the masculine and the feminine, as I believe we both have that within us. But I do like the opening statement here, and I'm going to read it. Like I said, again, this comes from gypsythread.org, full worm moon ritual. So, but before I do that, we're going to go over basically what's in the ritual. So there's the calling of the corners, there's the calling of the center. There is the opening statement, which is basically you are going to say what you're doing, what your purpose is. It's really just a statement of purpose. You should have it for pretty much any ritual. Do not just call corners and then dash into what you're doing, because if you're going to bring the elemental spirits into your house and into your ritual, you should probably let them know why they're there. Hence the opening statement. And also, if you have guests to your ritual, you don't want to just dive into ritual without explaining something of what you're doing. And then we talk about things we learned from this time of year and what prompts the ritual. Usually there is some kind of activity during the ritual. For this one, it is a... we're going to talk about what's usually done during this ritual. So you do the activities, and then you do what's called the cakes and ale. So after the activities, you would eat the cake and drink the water, especially as spring starts. Through the winters, you'll notice we didn't do this at Samhain, and we didn't do this at mid-solstice, or winter solstice, and that kind of thing. But as we get into spring, we start actually paying attention to the cake and the water. The cake and the water are very, very vastly important. This is about acknowledging the plenty of the earth around you and the harvest of what you're being given and the things you're about to put into the earth. So we continue to, we put that in there. Oh my gosh, my laptop is broken. Okay. So now I'm going to move you back here. And we're going to be here. We're going to answer some questions here. How do you control, or can you control who comes? So I assume you're talking spirits, Jason, because I can absolutely control who comes to my ritual. I tell people not to be there. I think that's what you're talking about. If we're talking about spirits, you are very careful about how you call corners. For instance, the corners here that I really like, gypsythread.org, for this one specifically, they say, "Welcome, great spirits of the East. We feel the cold blasts of icy air as you hold your world tightly in the grip of winter, yet the same wind blowing on our faces brings a hint of milder times soon to come." So that invites specifically Eastern wind spirits. Otherwise, you do things like hail the guardians of the watchtowers. That's going to ask for a bigger crowd, more of an A-lister crowd. I invite the powers of spring. I call to the guardians of the East. These are all different corners I have used. Depending on my ritual, depends on what I use. For this ritual, when I do it by myself tomorrow night, before I go to bed, it will be very much of the I welcome the elements of air. I welcome the elements of fire. I welcome the elements of the East and the powers of air. Because that is more of the energies within and less of the spirit that I'm calling upon. I personally have so many spirits that I don't want to invite a whole bunch more and hope they go when I release them. So it is just better to go. I'm going to do it this way and call upon the energy and the power and less of the spirit itself. Anytime you call, the point of casting a circle is to create the sacred space and make things protected. So any ritual you're actually going to do, whether it be, and I can't say this enough, make holy water or enchant your items, cast the circle. Call upon what you want to imbue that item with. So if I'm going to make holy water, or I'm going to make, and yes, Leah, I am directly calling you out. Hi, Sandy. Do you do the ritual inside the home? I do. Yes, I do my rituals inside my home. I do not have a yard. I have an apartment, so I do them inside. If I had a yard, I'd be outside. In the summer, I go to other people's houses and use their yards. If I thought I could get away with it, I have a park a block away, but it's not a good park to do that kind of thing in. So if I know somebody out there with a yard that's close by, I would love to come do a summer ritual with a group of people, large group of people, besides Josh's house, because I know Josh said I could. But Jason won't be in that area. Josh said we could. We went out there and did a Hanukkah thing. It was really cool. So anyway, if you're going to make something holy, okay, like I bless my wand. I bless my wand all the time. My wand, after use, will be rubbed down with salt water, and then it'll be put back in the windowsill where the moonlight shines on it. And this charges my wand. And that's how I keep it charged in between uses. And this is not Harry Potter. My wand does not cast spells. It's not a thing. My wand literally just extends my energy where I need it to go. Hence, I point to the different aspects of my ritual. Athame will do the same thing. But the circle is made for protection. I call upon the elements first so that I build the cone of protection before I invite my god and goddess into it, because I've already created the sacred space and the safe space before I bring something holy into it. Then I ask my god and my goddess to bless whatever it is I have inside. So for this specific ritual, we're going to start with a little bit about the moon itself. So the reason it's called Worm and not Pisces and not whatever, but I will say that's an important statement here. March 9th 2020 is the full moon. It's also is the storm moon, the worm moon, or the crow's moon, depending on what path you follow. The sun, the ruling sun sign for this month is Pisces. Our full moon will be in Virgo. Wiccan rituals include spells to purify the mind, the body, and the soul. So everybody talks about spring cleaning. So after we've been pent up and inside all winter, this is where we start to go, oh my God, I need to be outside. I need fresh air. I can see the sun shining. Even if it's between rain droplets, I need to get out. And part of that getting out is we have literally spent the winter holed up in caves or our apartments, whatever, and storing stuff all winter to make sure we survive, because that's our instinct as humans. Now it's our instinct to go, why do we have a year's worth of crap in our house? So we pack everything up and we throw it away, or we take it to Goodwill, or we put it in storage and wait for next year to pack it back up in our house. Don't do that. I'm working on that right now. So this is where the reason I'm doing this specific full moon, one, because the Sunday fell before the day of the full moon. So I could talk about the ritual and how to do it and what full moon rituals do. But two, this is the first ritual of spring, the first full moon ritual of spring. So Imbolic was the first fertility ritual of spring. It's where we start acknowledging that we know life is coming back, and we're starting to feel the need to breed, to grow, to spread, to not be cooped up in winter. And then this full moon, March's full moon, comes right after that. That's where we start to go, I need to clean. That's where we start to go, I need to be clean inside, outside, cleanse the heart, cleanse the mind, cleanse the soul, cleanse the body, cleanse the house, spring cleaning. So that's why we're talking about today. I've had a lot of this questions coming through my personal messages of how do I clean? How do I do ritual? How do I charge my tools? How do I blah? And so I felt that because tomorrow is the full moon, we should go over the ritual. We should talk about what this is. So the full moon occurs on Monday at 1:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 5:48 UTC, and I don't know what that is. So this is where you perform the ritual cleansing, charging, to make your tools, talismans, holy water, cleanse the dirt, clean the stuff you already use. I will be doing a bunch of this tomorrow when I get home from work. This is the last full moon before the spring equinox on the 19th. That's when the official equinox is. The equinox is somewhere between the 19th, 20th, 21st. So we often spend extra time indoors. We talked about that. So this ritual, the ritual that I was actually reading about, this is where the opening statement, for all intents and purposes, this marks the return of spring to the land itself. So even if you're getting snow somewhere or ice somewhere, you're also still getting green shoots and trees are starting to bloom. The land is trying to wake up. It's not hitting the snooze button anymore. It's starting to move and wake up and want to be. So we will have a second full moon or blue moon at the end of this month. That's important to know. I'll try to do a ritual on that too. Those are kind of different. So this is when you want to get things done. This is when you want to take out your honey-do list. This is where you want to, hey, this is stuff I've been trying to do. Yes. This is where I try to go, hey, these are tasks I've been meaning to get done. I need to go through all my clothes and get rid of them. I need to clean out my closets. This is all stuff that I've gone, hey, kids, this is what we're doing. Hey, household, this is what we're doing. In fact, I have Wednesday, Thursday off this week. That's literally what I'm doing with my 2 days off. It will be cleaning things, going through things, boxing things up, and taking them to Goodwill on Thursday. So if you want to help with that, that's what I'm doing. This is also the best time of year to engage in magical working concerning employment, intellectual matters, personal health, addressing your dietary concerns. So if you want to figure out how to be healthy, this is the time to start researching it. If you want to do prayers to be healthy, if you want to, anytime you clean your house, you're going to make it healthier. Anytime you clean the chakras, anytime you clean the aura, all of this is going to make you healthier. So please do this. Okay. The reason we call it the worm moon is my favorite thing. We rain a lot in March, and that brings up earthworms, which is why we call it the worm moon. That's really the reason it is. But the earthworms are wonderful, wonderful creatures, and this is something we need to learn. This is the lesson of the earthworm. As the temperature begins to warm, the ground begins to thaw, earthworms begin to show themselves. They move through the soil, they eat plant debris, and actually aerate the soil by digging through it to get to the surface. So they almost churn the soil and make it richer so that new vegetation can grow. So as we start looking through our spring, what do we get rid of? What do we change? What do we aerate in our own lives to make us grow? Hi, Sandy. This is what we do. They are hermaphroditic, possessing both male and female energies, demonstrating the power of fertility and preserving their species. If injured, they can recover or regrow a missing portion of their bodies. They teach us that the best ways to heal ourselves originate from within. They eat waste and organic matter. They're trapped in the soil and recycle it into fertilizer. Basically, they take all the negative in their life and they turn it into their own positives. And that is the most important lesson of the worm moon. So the lesson, the activity this has is one of my favorite activities. Again, why I chose the worm moon to talk about the ritual. This literally says we take pieces of paper like we did at Samhain, where we made our New Year's resolutions, and we talked about this is the negativity I want to get rid of in my life, and this is the positivity I want to energize. Right? Well, this one calls for something just a little different. This is, what do I see in my life as a negative that I can make a positive? This asks you to specifically go, how do I look at something that's bothering me and change my perspective and make it something positive? Even if that means I have to stop talking to this person because this person causes drama. If this is, for me, I'm very, very busy. I never have any time. My work schedule is chaotic. But this month, I'm looking at it as I get to work 2 days, take 2 days off and handle my household stuff to get my house in order, finally. And then work 2 days, and then have a day off to enjoy with my friends. So that's my plus. That's my positive. That is how I'm taking the chaos in my life. Hi, Barb. I miss you. That is how I'm taking the chaos in my life and turning it into a positive. This is me going, yes, my life is chaotic. My life is hectic. My life is so busy that everyone I know is going, we never see you. Okay, it is. You're right. That's very true. My life is very chaotic and very busy, and no one ever sees me. At this point, the only way you see me is to come to my house, and that's incredibly unfair because I have always said that that's a crappy thing to do. But that's the time I have right now. And I don't want it to be that way, but that's where I'm at right now. So if you have a Sunday, if you have every other Sunday, because one Sunday a month or 2 Sundays a month, I'm very busy and I'm not willing to give up that time. But if you have every other Sunday available, we can talk and I will totally make plans with you because that's how this works. I need lots of help, Jason. A lot of it I don't think you're qualified to do. I need professional help. Okay, so what they're asking in this ritual is that you take a piece of paper and you write down the list of things that you want to change in your life. Not, I want to eat right. Not, I need to stop hanging out with X, Y, and Z because they're toxic. No, I want you to write down, I keep looking at this way. What happens if I look at it this way instead? What can I change in my perspective that will literally change how things are happening in my life. And then, of course, if there is negativity, this is a full moon ritual, not a worm moon ritual. If there is, this is every full moon. Not that degree, Jason. So if you take the any full moon, as the full moon becomes full and you do the ritual, the idea is that as it turns away, you change, that you accept that as it comes into new, you can make things positive. As it goes into old, or as it comes into full and make things positive, it goes out of full into new, you start getting rid of things. So it builds up to full and then it fades away. So every full moon ritual, you write down the negative you want to get rid of. Hi, Joshua. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. As the moon becomes full, you write down the negativity you want to get rid of, and then you burn it at the full moon ritual. And as the moon turns, that's part of what you're trying to get rid of, is that negativity out of your life. So you want to do both for this ritual. You want to, this is what I want to change from my perspective. This is the negativity I'm going to get rid of. The negativity you're going to get rid of, you write on a separate piece of paper. You write it on a separate piece of paper because then you're going to fold it up and burn it. Because the smoke will carry it away and then you won't have that negativity anymore. That's how that works. So spring is the best time to cleanse your house, your spirit, your hearth, your home, your emotions. You watch these things be released into the sky with smoke. So you want to do 3 smudges: white sage and cedar. Jason, the question you asked me is cedar. Sage, then cedar. And then hold on just a moment. I am done. Thousands of years, Native Americans have given the sacred smoke bowl blessing, a powerful cleansing technique to remove stubborn energies which seem to hang to all of us. The smoke of the white sage attaches itself to negative energy and carries it away, leading to a shift to the positive. The smoke of sweetgrass, which is an actual herb, sweetgrass, attracts positive energies, and finally smoke of cedar lays a layer of protection around the house. So you can actually make one smudge stick of all 3. I personally would do it in 3 stages. First the sage, then the sweetgrass, then the cedar. Normally, I only do the sage and the cedar. I don't particularly like the sweetgrass. I thought burning put in air. No, burning carries whatever the message is away. As the smoke drifts away, so does what you're taking with it. The idea is that it clings to the smoke, not releases things into the air. If you burn it in something, like you're going to make special parchment and enchant the parchment and then put something on it and then burn that, that's releasing something. Don't do that. So, right. After you do the ritual, then you're going to clean. And then you're going to acknowledge that this is what you're going to take the time to clean. Like this is what I'm setting in my schedule as part of the ritual. Like literally pull out your candle or your calendar, put days in. These are the days I'm going to clean. This is the time frame I'm setting to clean. Do not set yourself up for I'm going to clean for 12 hours on a Wednesday. Don't do that. Because I guarantee you, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get halfway through, decide this is bullshit because you're tired of it and you've done it too often. And then you're going to leave everything right where it's at and you're going to walk the hell away. And then that never gets done. Set yourself up. I'm going to spend 2 hours on Wednesday. I'm going to spend 3 hours on Thursday. Or I'm going to spend 4 hours on Wednesday. However you're going to do it. Leave yourself time. I'm going to take a break and have breakfast. I'm going to take a break and have lunch. I'm going to go out after I'm done cleaning to, I don't know, I'm going to grab McDonald's on my way to Salvation Army to drop stuff off. Whatever. Give yourself that out. Nobody wants to clean 12 hours in a row. It does terrible things. Don't do it. So, hi, Hannah. So set yourself up in the calendar as part of the ritual. Write it down. Schedule that. Including the breaks, including I'm only going to take 4 hours, and that's going to be okay. And then once you're done with we're going to burn we're going to write down what I'm changing from negative to positive. We're going to burn away the negativity. We're going to smudge the house, smudge ourselves, however you want to do that. Write down things in the calendar. Then you're going to close your circle. So closing your circle, you do backwards. The first thing you do, I'm going to turn this again. Ignore what you see on the TV. There's no one there. Okay. I said there's no one there, Tim. I also can't make my laptop work because I'm dumb. Okay, there we go. Because the camera's backwards and I'm dyslexic. That's how it works. Okay. So again, you're going to release your god, then your goddess. Then you're going to start in the north. You're going to go north, west, south, east. Because this way builds the circle. This way lets go the circle. Okay? Clockwise to build, counterclockwise to exit. Oops, I knocked over all the water. But, like I said, when you start the ritual, you create the sacred space, then invite down the powerful people. You release the powerful people, then let go of the sacred space. Just like if your in-laws are coming over, you're going to clean your house first. You don't invite your in-laws over, then clean the house while they're there. Kind of a thing. Okay? So, that's where I'm at. I guess this was way shorter than I expected it to be, and I'm sorry. So the basic ritual, I'm going to put the link in the descriptions. The basic rituals are full moon rituals. You can find them online. Pretty much a full moon ritual is a full moon ritual. You set up the altar, light the candles, call the corners, do the ritual. A basic full moon ritual is, I acknowledge that there's a full moon. Full moon means change. From new moon to full moon is building and creation. From full moon to new moon is getting rid of things and negativity and giving things away. Deconstruction. So when it's full, you write down everything negative you want to get rid of, you burn it, you let it go. The important part of that is, once you burn it, you let it go. You do not hold on to it. You do not go, but it's still in my life and it's still bothering me. Well, yes, it is. If this is not an overnight. These spells don't just go, but I wrote it down and burned it. It's done. Nothing in life happens that way. Nothing. Nothing in life goes, I'm going to cast a spell to get rid of my gray hair, and in the morning I'm going to get up and I'm going to have no gray hair. That's not how magic works. I can will my gray hair away, but it's a whole lot easier if I will it away with a box of hair dye. There's an old book I read. I think it's called Witchcraft for Couples. And it starts with, magic is just science that's been explained, or science is just magic that's been explained. 300 years ago, 1600s, 1700s, if we saw an airplane flying through the sky, that was magic and witchcraft. Today, it's just a plane. We all know that. So at one point, C4, gunpowder, was science and witchcraft. Or was magic and witchcraft. Shamans used to put herbs that smoked more in their fires to make people afraid of them. It's just witchcraft. Science is just witchcraft that's been explained to man. So when you do this, please remember your belief, your positivity, your determination is what changes things in your life. Creating holy water and using it to wash your wand, creating holy water and using it to wash my wand isn't going to make my wand more powerful. It doesn't make my wand cast spells. It's not Harry Potter. It makes my wand point at things because I can point at things with my wand. That's it. It's beautiful and it means a lot to me and it holds a lot of my energy because I use it a lot and I pet it. And then I put it in the windowsill and the moonlight shines on it and cleans it because my energy sometimes is toxic. And I don't want to just store that somewhere. But it's not the spell that makes the negativity come out of your life. It's the idea that you acknowledge the negativity. You acknowledge that you didn't need it anymore. You burned it to let it go. It's called sympathetic magic. And you do the act, and it acknowledges that this act needs to be done, and then it goes away. So that's important. Do that. Hi, Travis. Wow, have everybody here today. Okay. So if you guys have any questions about full moon rituals, witchcraft, scheduling, cakes and ales, which I put out and I'm going to eat and drink later because I'm really thirsty now. Or any of that, you can PM me. You can, I don't know if Travis, if you're still watching, but Jason Davis says hi. And I know you all went to school together because we all went to school together, and that is so weird for me. But yeah, so that's a thing. If you have any questions, PM me. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on my phone. Carrier pigeon, but I really don't promise to actually look for a carrier pigeon. Hi, Sonia. By the way, Madeleines make great cakes. They're just little shortbread cakes. They're really cool. Next week, we are discussing polyamory. Next week, we will be discussing polyamory, what it is, what it means, the different kinds of it, cultures that still celebrate it, cultures that used to celebrate it and don't anymore, practice it, celebrate it, whatever. I'm even going to open my own book and share a lot about how I practice versus how other people practice. I will not be naming names unless you give me permission. I will be getting certain people's permission before then and asking if I can talk about them or even maybe get them in stream. So that'll be a whole thing. Next week, we're doing polyamory. And in one of these weeks, we're just going to have a conversation where we sit and have everybody from my high school years just talk in my chats. It's weird how this chat is just becoming family members and high school people, and that's weird. But I like it. So yeah, if you have any questions, please private message me. Let me know. If you want a topic, you need me to talk about something. You want to talk about how to get ghosts out of your house. You want to talk about, hey, my son wants to be my daughter and I don't know how to handle that. Hit me up. I'll research topics and I will talk about it. So right now I've got 2 weeks planned. After that, I'm going back to the drawing board and figuring out what I'm doing from there. So little self-promotion. You guys all want to go to www.sideseat.webs.com. You will find my gaming channel there. You will find my blogging channel there. You will find a written blog there. In my written blog is a link to my Not Safe for Work blog. And you will find my calendar with my topics on it and when I stream and when I don't. And you will even find a contact me page. You know, Barb, you think you're being all facetious and stuff, but now I'm going to add why the sky is blue, and there's going to be a whole science talk, and now you've made me do science. Are you happy with yourself? So, there you go. That is my talk for today. So, like, subscribe, hit the buttons, tell your friends, spread the word, tell people this is what I do. I do it every Sunday at 8 p.m. Oh, okay, Sonia, the link is sideseat, one word, .webs.com. I will put it. What?
Type in chat.
Side seat. If my chat would type. .webs.com. There you go. Chat. I put it in the chat. I will also put it in the description on my YouTube channel, which you can actually find at Side Seat Plus. Literally, if you go to YouTube, you can look up Side Seat Plus. Side seat is one word. Yeah. It is. Yeah. I might do a video on here about my diet and how I need to get back on it. You can find the interview with my dad at Side Seat Plus, which that website actually has a link to all the interviews. There's actually 3 on there now. There will be more. I did one with my dad, one with Vonna, one with Josie. There will be more. I'm going to interview each of my children, which my biological children and more if I can get them. I want to find out. I may have to do it through my new capture device. I just got a capture device, so we're going to figure out how to do that. All the interviews I do. All the interviews I do, I do a recording instead of live stream. So that's important. And all of my live streams are saved, so you can go back and watch them all. If you go to the website, there's a link to both of my channels and my blog and my Not Safe for Work blog and my calendar. And Debbie, you're late. The YouTube channel is Side Seat Plus and Side Seat Gamer. Side Seat Gamer is just where I do a bunch of geeky stuff. Like Tim and I do a Smash Brothers tournament every week, and I go there and I take my laptop and my camera and I interview the players. It's a lot of fun. We also just live streamed the Monkey King: The Hero Returns, and we're doing a live stream of Kingdom Hearts, all of them in order. And evidently we're doing Alien Retribution or something. For the same purpose. That's on my gaming channel. And then on this channel, if you go in the back, there is this whole journey to my leading up to my surgery, my gastric surgery. And then after that, it's kind of hit and miss for a while up until the wedding. And then there was a lot of people going, Kate, I want you to teach me witchcraft. I want you to teach me witchcraft. I want you to teach me witchcraft. And I'm like, I don't do this anymore. I don't take apprentices. I don't take students. I don't teach, because people like to dabble when I'm not watching, and I don't have time to watch. So now, instead of taking on actual students and trying to get people to like follow a moral code that only I have evidently, I go, you tell me what you want to learn this week, and I'll put it up on YouTube or Facebook, and we learn it. And if you follow along and do the lessons, that's cool. If you don't, it's not on me. I am not karmically responsible for what you do or do not do. The first couple of these lessons started right at Halloween, because that's the witch's new year. So that's what we started for this new year. I think I've missed 2. I'm trying to do this, give myself 1 weekend a month that I don't do this. Because then it starts to feel like a chore if I have to do it, if I have to do it. Hi, Cole. Yeah, go through, Sonia, go through my past Side Seat Plus. I did everything, like made my own granola bars, talked about how to make soup and freeze it. Yeah, it's really cool. And PM me if you have any questions. I will totally sit and talk about it for hours. But yeah, so I started doing witchcraft lessons that aren't really witchcraft, really. They're more of a spirituality lesson. And we talk about like my various experiences and how to do rituals and what to do and what not to do. What not to do is a very important thing. Then I started up a Facebook chat group that's called Ritual Stuff. And that's where I put like, hey, this is when I'm actually going to stream, and this is when I'm actually going to do rituals. And I have this group of people who keep asking me questions. Hey, I want to do this. And I'm like, put it in the chat. We'll talk about it in front of everybody. But for me, the purpose of that chat is don't do that. If you want actual homework, this is where I'd put you. The latest homework assignment was pretty fun for me. I made them watch The Craft and Practical Magic. And then I made them write a paper listing all of the witches in both movies and what they did right and what they did wrong. So that's fun. I got a lot of people whose first reaction was, I'm watching the first 10 minutes of The Craft and why are these women stupid? And I was like, thank you. I will continue to teach you. Yeah. So, yeah. Like I said, like, subscribe, find me on YouTube, find me on Facebook, find me on Instagram, Twitter, a whole bunch of other social media that probably you shouldn't follow me on. Pretty much anybody who's in this chat should probably not follow me on those other things. Instagram and Twitter are safe. The others probably aren't. But yeah, like I said, I'm all over social media, YouTube, that website. You can call me, text me, snail mail me if that's what you need to do. My email is Sarah. The easiest one is lewiskate@gmail.com or KatrinaMcMurray@gmail.com. And yes, I'm actually going back to Katrina again. It's a thing. Sometimes you just have to grow up and realize that you are who you are and deal with it. Which I could totally do a whole other speech on, but that will be another thing. Hi, Erin. I'm sorry you caught me just as we're wrapping up. Yeah, Sonia, you can stalk me everywhere if you want to stalk me. That's fine. I don't mind. I'm even on Twitch if you want to find me on Twitch. I will. There has been some talk about leaving YouTube and going to Twitch, but I might just add Twitch into this. It's not going to be that hard. I actually, since I have the capture device, I can stream through it and hit more than one profile, more than one venue at a time. So there will be experimentation in the coming weeks. So stay tuned. Oh, the last time I went by Katrina, I was 8th grade, I think, maybe 7th grade. And then my new husband said it, and I loved the way it came out of his mouth. So I started going by it again. He made all the changes in my world that made me a weirdly better person. Jason, you're right. I do change my name a lot. But weirdly, it's not my name. I don't change my name. I just gain names. Currently, I answer to Katrina, Trina, Braylon, Kate, Kat, Sarah, Sarin, Aaron, sometimes Sapphire if you really catch me in a good mood, Starlin, which is a D&D character I had. I mean, there's about 13. Aislinn for a while, yeah. But I don't, the difference is I don't get rid of names. Changing names means that I don't go by that name anymore. And that's not exactly true. I go by all those names still. I just add more to them because I'm crazy. Yeah, you keep your mouth shut. So, don't say what I call you. Yeah, thanks, Jason. So like I said, like, subscribe, follow me, find me everywhere. If you have questions, by all means, ask me. If you want to hear a topic, ask me. Vonna told me she wanted me to talk about trees, so I spent a week researching all the holy trees, and did like a 45-minute talk on it. So like I said, you want to know something, that's why I'm doing polyamory next week, because people keep asking me questions about polyamory. So I hope you guys learned something here. I hope that it was at least entertaining. Feedback is always wonderful. If you read my blogs, please comment. Let me know what you're thinking. I get good chat, and then I actually have no feedback on whether or not this is educational, good for anyone, whatever. You know, as far as I know, I'm just hanging out with people in my chat. So, and babbling to myself. And I never know whether or not people are actually following along and listening. So there you go. But I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to let my wonderful, wonderful household people actually get back to what they're actually attempting to do, because they have no sound right now, so I can do this. And I love you all. I miss most of you. I'm just kidding. I miss you all. And like I said, I will have Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays available. So he wants me to tell you that he's a chicken that walks around. Okay. All right. So like, subscribe, ring the bell, spread the message, tell your friends, boost the signal, because you can't stop the signal, man. You guys have a good night.